What's up, gang? Hey man, I got another banger. Hey man, shout out to my nigga Antoine. I'm gonna be reacting to one of his videos. But before we jump into that video, make sure you hit that like button. Also make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also make sure you watch this one to the very end, because I made sure to put some solid ass gold nuggets at the end of this video for all my guys that actually watch it to the end. Yeah man, if you haven't done so already, jump into the CLG community. It is only $48 a month. You do get a free one-on-one call with me if you do jump in. I'm gonna be doing that until I get overwhelmed, until we have too many members. If you jump in for the yearly, you get a 20% discount, so it'll be less than $500 if you jump in for the year. And without further ado, let's just jump into the video.
Are you telling me that because I already have children that I don't deserve a good man?
Yes.
That don't make no sense at all. I'm so glad that the world don't work the way he thinks it should.
So let me give her a solution. I want her to go back with her baby daddy.
But he a piece of shit. And I would never.
The guy that you open up your legs to is your husband. I used to be in a church, and I will always see women pray to God for a good man. And I always would ask my mom, and she would pop me in the mouth. I would say, well, what about him? Like, why would God mess his life up by giving him you?
For some reason, you don't make men take accountability for their choices.
You treat people how you want to be treated. Thanks. Some of these women, guys know what they qualify for. They know they don't qualify for the top woman. Women will take the best option knowing that she gonna mess his life up, knowing that she gonna slow him down. I see women today, they don't even like guys that got regular jobs no more. And then you want to complain about your healthcare coverage.
Antoine was spitting on that one. And it was a lot deeper than even what he actually said. This was a lot deeper. And I'm going to throw a little bit of my personal experience into this because it's needed. And Antoine is hitting a sweet spot, because what she's saying in a nutshell is saying that when she's saying good man, she's not really actually talking about the good men that are actually giving her a chance. She's talking about guys who are superior to every other man, and they should accept her kids and all just cuz. And what Antoine is saying, he's challenging her point of view and just like, but what did he do if he's been a good man on his P's and Q's, you know, running his business, making good money, being able to provide? Why would God punish him by giving him you? You know what I mean? While he's been out being a good man, you've been out being a not so good woman. You know what I mean? Having kids out of wedlock, leaving the father of your children. She looked like she not the leanest girl in the world. Looked like she liked to eat a little too much. You know what I mean? So it's like at the end of the day, you know what I mean? What's ended up happening? What's wrong with the modern day woman? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's very simple, but a lot of people don't explain this. What's wrong with the modern day woman is they're actually victims of their options. Modern day women have too many options and they don't know what to do with it. So instead of actually choosing a sensible option that is good for them, what they do is they just keep hiring their standards. They keep hiring their standards. And they look at themselves as having no flaws. See, this is the wild part. If you was to put a guy in a woman's shoes and give a guy that many options, eventually a guy, most guys, not all guys, because some guys don't want to settle down. You feel me? Some guys do not want to settle down. But eventually, most guys will find a partner to settle down with. Me, for example, slept with a lot of women, right? It was easier for me to finally settle down with a chick because I had so many options, because I slept with so many women. Now, for a woman, they can have way more options than a guy and nitpick every single guy that they deal with and basically find a flaw in every single guy that they deal with, basically disqualifying that guy, talking about they haven't found a good man yet. Even though they're coming to the table with baggage. And the reason why I want to bring my personal stuff into this situation is because I had a situation where I was dealing with a chick and she had a kid. And this is a long time ago, and I didn't have any kids. And one of the things that she told me while she was trying to force, I was going over her house and I was hooking up with her quite a bit. But I remember waking up one morning and her little son was waking me up. You know what I mean? He was a cute little kid and everything, but I stopped talking to her after that day. But I remember one of the times that she was telling me when she had a kid and stuff like that, and she asked me, did I have kids? So the way it was brought up, we was on a date, And she said, do you have kids? And I was like, nah, I don't have any kids. At that time, I didn't have any. And she was like, yeah, that's good, because, you know, I don't really like men with kids. I already got my own kid. And in my mind, I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you have a kid by a man, and then the deeper I went into it, her man was an ex-drug dealer, really big drug dealer in the Minnesota area, gangster, you know what I mean, all kinds of shit. She was a bad white bitch. I ain't gonna lie, she had a big old fat ass, you know what I mean. She was a cute white girl, but her ex was a ex-drug dealer, murderer / all types of shit, black dude, you know what I mean, in the Minnesota area. And she would tell stories about how much money he would pull in and how many bags of weed and this and all this stuff like this. And she was looking for a man with no kids to take her in her kid, and her man didn't have a life sentence because she said he only got caught with some drug stuff, so he only gonna be in for like five more years or something like that. So I'm like, in my head, now that I'm older now, I'm looking back at it, I'm like, so this woman was looking for a guy with no kids. She was going to give this guy, hope this guy took care of her kids. She was looking for a guy who was financially sound, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, even if this guy did decide to take her serious, he still has to look over his shoulder for a guy that's about to come out of jail, who's known to be a drug dealer / murderer. Because she was talking about her ex and stuff. She was like, he the type now, you know, if he need payback, he'll lay underneath your car, you know, in your driveway until he can get the perfect shot. He'll spend the night underneath your car if he had to. So I'm like, so think about the situation that you put in your new nigga in. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, think about the situation that you put in the nigga that you dealing with. You dealing with a guy that ain't got kids, that made good decisions, that got a little bit of money, that got himself together. You feel me? Now, I ain't gonna lie, she had some good pussy, but at the end of the day, that's used pussy. Like, think about what you getting as a guy. See, this is what's happening with guys. Guys do not know their worth. If a guy was in a female's position, a guy would have no problem making a choice. Because when I ask guys what they look for in a woman, a lot of times they look for a cute girl who's not a whore. Those are usually the two things that a guy look for. He's like, man, at this point, I'm just looking for a girl that's cute, that's not ran through. When I talk to guys, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's getting so bad in the market. A lot of guys are accepting whores. A lot of guys just be like, man, I just want a cute girl that understands me. What if she's a whore? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Fuck it. They hard to avoid nowadays. I'm having conversations with men that are even open to dating whores now, bro. Ex-whores. So there is, like, trust me, when you see a woman complaining on the internet, it is not because she does not have options. It is because she has too many options, and she's disqualifying solid candidates because her ego's too big, she has too much pride. She overinflates her worth, and she does not give a fuck about the other side. She does not give a fuck about what the man wants out of the situation. And you can tell this is the case because anytime a guy brings up to a woman what the man wants out of a situation, she will get angry. Because in her mind, why do you even have the audacity to even want anything as a man? Like, the way that women look at men is, you take what we give you. You take whatever we decide you deserve. It doesn't matter what you want. And that is what feminism has done to modern day society, and look where it's leading. More and more women cannot stay in a relationship, even the hot ones. Because that is not the way it's supposed to go. If you want families, you want nuclear families, you want people to stay in a relationship, the man has to know his value. The man has to operate from the pedestal. The man has to operate from the position of power. No, honey. If you rocking with me, this how it's gonna go. And if you can't keep up, there's other niggas out there for you. Like, literally, I kid you not. I literally had to break up with my main, like officially break up with her, because she was getting a little out of hand. I'll get into that story. And let me tell you exactly what happened with this breakup, because sometimes as a man, you just got to stand on business, right? So, like you guys know with my main, yeah, I put her through a lot, whatever the case is. Yeah, she head over heels in love, all this stuff like that. But sometimes you got to leave a bitch. You get what I'm trying to say? So basically what she was trying to do to me was she was trying her best in so many words to demasculate me, right? She was telling me things that I didn't agree with. She was like, okay, I'm cool with you going out, but you need to check in with me. You need to communicate with me. You need to text me. She was giving me a list of bullshit, right? Simply put, what I said is, I'm not going to follow any of your rules. And because I'm not going to follow any of your rules, you have a decision to make. You can either stick by those rules and lose me, because I'm not following them. You feel me? I'm not the one to check in, none of that stuff like that. I said, this is what it is with me. If there's an emergency, something that's do or die, you text me, I'm there. I am probably one of the most reliable people if there's something of emergency, or something of a threat, of something of that's real. You know what I mean? But where she live and how I got her set up and stuff like that, there ain't no threats, there ain't no emergencies 9 times out of 10, unless she went outside and got herself caught up in something. But I told her flat out, I said, if there's a threat or there's an emergency, I am not the guy to be texting back and forth, checking in, you know what I mean, telling you where I'm at, you know what I mean. If I don't want to come home one night, nigga, this is my house. I pay the bills. You get what I'm trying to say? I don't need a full breakdown of how a man should act. She was telling me, well, you don't act like how a man should act. Guess what? There were plenty of men that would have followed your lead that you could have dated. Why didn't you date them? Because you know I'm hard-headed. You know I don't play. I was telling her straight up. I said, you know I don't play that. And then she's just like, well, if I don't start seeing a change, I might have to leave. I said, you know what? I said, let's just get down to the bottom of this. I said, we're done. In the middle of the conversation, I said, we're not going back and forth. I said, we done. You can leave tomorrow. I said, matter of fact, I'll buy the plane ticket to send you back to Minnesota. We are done. You know what I mean? Then you get the waterworks. Then you get the tears. Then you get the crying. Then you get this. And then you get to calling my mom and telling my mom that I ain't shit. And blah, blah, blah. And da, da, da. And all she did was want me to cooperate more with her. And this and this. And da, da, da. And blah, blah, blah. And because I don't want to cooperate, you know, I broke up with her. You get what I'm trying to say? I said, don't get this misconstrued. You can go back tomorrow. Just tell me the plane ticket. She didn't want to tell me the plane ticket cost. Then she ran into my office talking about some, in my culture, she always does this culture stuff. I don't even know if this stuff be true. In my culture, you have to call my dad and tell him that you don't want me anymore and blah, blah, blah. Da, da, da. I said, I'm not calling nobody. I said, we are done. I said, go back to Minnesota. I will buy the plane ticket. I will send you everything. I'll send you all your stuff. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Go back home. You feel me? It's just like, well, and then she came back later talking about some, well, I can't leave for at least 30 days. I have to be here for at least 30 days because of my culture and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, all right. I say, whatever. If that's your culture, if you want to stay for 30 days. I said, but check this out. I said, I shouldn't even be agreeing to let you stay for 30 days. You should be homeless right now. But I said, check this out. During these 30 days, do not get it misconstrued. You are my roommate. You feel me? Don't, you feel me? You cook, clean, you do the stuff around the house because you're not paying any rent. So you're going to hold that into the bargain. But don't be telling me where I should be. Don't be telling me this. Don't be telling me that. None of that. We are roommates. We are done. You feel me? And as soon as that happened, now I'm still broken up with her. You feel me? Like I'm not getting back with her. But this is the crazy thing. As soon as that happened, the house was cleaner than it's ever been. She's been as sweet as humanly possible. She's never been this sweet. She's been sweet. She's been in her submissive. Last night, one of the best fucking blowjobs ever. You know the difference between the blowjobs, right? You know, like a blowjob where she's just giving you head, right? It's still good, but she giving you head. But you ever had one of them blowjobs where she fucking sensually sucking your dick? Like every lick means something. You feel what I'm trying to say? She kissing it. She gave me one of them motherfuckers last night. We not together. And I told her, I said, I'm gonna let you stay for these 30 days because of some bullshit fucking culture thing that she said she got. And I said, but after those 30 days, you gotta go. This motherfucker's on her best motherfucking behavior. It done got so bad because my mom like her a lot. Because my mom thinks she a good girl. My mom is coming into town. I'm not even gonna be home this whole fucking weekend. And I told my mom booked the ticket because she called my mom. My mom booked the ticket to try to keep us together. My mom is coming into town trying to keep us together. Now you want to talk about manipulation techniques by women? My mom got my stepdad never calls me ever. My mom talked my stepdad into calling me. My stepdad was like, man, you're not gonna find one like that, man. You're not gonna find them good ones, man. I'm just letting you know, man, you're not gonna find the good ones. My stepdad never fucking calls me. Then my mom calls me. It's like, I booked my train ticket down there. I'm gonna be there. We gonna work this out. And I'm like, Mom, why are you involved? This is me and her relationship. I'm done. I told my stepdad, I said, hey, I'm done with it. You feel me? We roommates. Mama said, well, I'm gonna be down there and I'm gonna see if I can get down to the bottom of it. I need to be there in person. For what? Like, nigga, I done made my decision. Like, when I tell you manipulation at the highest, because my mom like her, because my mom got her ear. You feel me? But some of the advice that my mom tries to give her is my mom tries to give her advice that makes her do masculine things. Like try to call me out and try to put boundaries on me and try to do stuff like that. And I'm just not going for that. It's just not happening. You feel me? You can call me whatever you want to call me. You call me asshole. You call me whatever. No, I'm not going for that. You feel me? And I told her several times. And I told my mom this and I told her this. She's just like, I just want you to be the guy that I want you to be. I said, go and find that nigga. Stop trying to change me into a nigga that I'm not. Go find him. But she's like, but I don't want nobody else. I only want you. So you want to control me. Well, it's not control. It's just, I just want you home every day and did this and that. I said, I don't want to be home every motherfucking day. You think I work this hard to pay the bills just for a motherfucker to tell me what the fuck to do? I grew up 18 years in a household where my mom was the dictator. Motherfucker, if I even wanted to go outside, I had to write down a fucking timestamp why I'm going outside and what I'm doing, goddammit. You get what I'm trying to say? Do you think I grew up to be a grown-ass man just to have boundaries? And she's like, well, what if you're sleeping with other girls? I said, first of all, this is what you got to understand about men. The girls that I'm sleeping with wish they were you. You feel me? I said, even if I was sleeping with other women, they wish they were you. Because I said, what are they getting out of it? Dick? What are they getting out of it? Dick and some of my time? What the fuck do you got? You got me paying bills. You ain't got to pay no rent. You got this. Come on. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I say, a man's loyalty is who he would die for. A man's loyalty is who he'll protect. But I said, but guess what? You ain't got to worry about none of that shit now because we not in a fucking relationship. We fucking roommates. Man, that motherfucker, she was acting more masculine lately because my mom been getting in her ear trying to tell her shit. And now she been acting more masculine. Me breaking up with her ass turned her into her feminine so goddamn hard. I swear to God, you can't make this shit up. I was serious. I wasn't playing. If she would have left to Minnesota, I'd have been just fine. I told her to leave. I told her I'll buy the tickets. I'd have been just motherfucking fine. I'd have shipped all her shit to her, whatever it would have cost. Probably would have cost a couple grand. I don't give a fuck. I was at one of those points. Because you not finna sit down and give me a list of shit that you need me to motherfucking do and then question my manhood because I don't follow your motherfucking definition of what a fucking man is. I'm not going for it. We've already seen what the world has become when men follow women's lead. Guess what? It ain't looking fucking good. So you know how I say it? If you want to rock with me, we rocking to the beat of my motherfucking drum. And I broke down to this. I said, I noticed when you listed out that list that you wanted to tell me what to be as a man and all that stuff like that. I noticed you focused on all the negative. You know what I mean? You didn't focus on none of the positive. You ain't focused on the times, you know what I mean? You ain't focused on the, when you're not around me, you get anxiety and depression. You don't have that when you're with me. You ain't focused on you feel protected and safe when I'm around. You ain't focused on, and this is the shit she said in the past. You didn't focus on, I pay the rent. I take financial stress off of you. You ain't focused on, I taught you how to budget in finance, and now you got $1,000 saved in another account. I have access to the account, but I never touch your fucking money because I got my own shit, and that's all your money. And you never focus on the fact how I helped you get out of all that motherfucking credit card debt that you had, how I'm helping you get out of all that fucking student loan debt that you have, how I helped you get out of all that fucking, you ain't focused on all that shit. No. You ain't focused on all that shit. You worried about me coming home and staying home all motherfucking day, looking at you all motherfucking day. When I'm a fucking business owner, I got shit, you feel me? I got shit to motherfucking do. You get what I'm trying to say? So that's the conversation that we had. And then basically she's just like, well, I can handle being home. I just want you home more. I said, I am home more. I said, since I've been doing the CLG thing, I said, motherfucker, I'm home all the time working. So the few times that I need to go out, you questioning that. And it all came, and this is the crazy part. When you give a girl an inch, she take a mile. So my boys have been out of town. The people that I usually hang out with. So the past weekends so this is what I'm going to give you a breakdown. I usually go out every motherfucking weekend from Friday to fucking Sunday. Every motherfucking weekend. It was a time where I was going out every fucking day. Recently, I have been staying home, working, grinding, working. I've been meeting up with some of my rotation bitches here and there and shit like that. You know how that shit go. But for the most part, I've been staying home way more than I ever did. So what happens is she see me home more, and then I go out one day. I went out Sunday, right? I was kicking one of my little rotation bitches, whatever the case is. And I came back home at a reasonable time too. I didn't even stay out all night. I came back home at a reasonable time. And from that Sunday, she wanted to give me all these fucking ultimatums and all this shit like that. Motherfucker, you see that I'm coming home more, or you see that I'm staying home more, and now you trying to make me stay home permanently? Fuck no. It's not happening. It's not fucking happening. And that's the shit that men fall into. Women are master motherfucking manipulators. And I'll be surprised to see what my mom tries to do when she tries to come down here, because I ain't gonna be fucking home. I told my mom, I said, hey, I know you came down here, whatever the case is, but I'm not gonna be home this whole weekend. I got a bunch of shit. I got shit planned tonight with a chick. I gotta meet up with one of the CLG members tomorrow. Sunday, I got something else with a chick. Motherfucker, I told my mom, I said, I ain't gonna be home this whole little weekend that you're gonna be here. She's like, I just need to be down there and talk to y'all, cause I can't see y'all breaking up. And I'd be like, in my head, I'd be like, why is my mom so invested into me being in a relationship with this particular girl? But then I also remember that my mom has no control over me, and she's used to having control over me when I was young. And the closest thing to control that she has over me is through my girl, because they talk every motherfucking day. So there's a vested interest with my mom with me staying with her, because my mom doesn't want me to mess around and find a girl that don't listen to her. You get what I'm trying to say? So you gotta understand, and my mom is the best at it, because my mom used to be the hottest. So my mom, when it comes to manipulation shit, she the best of the best of the best. Like, ain't nobody better than her. When I see her work car dealerships and get these deals and do stuff like that, my mom don't fucking play. Like, you feel me? It is her way or no motherfucking way. But the thing is, I've grown, so she can't do that shit with me no more. Like, when I was little, she had full control, which she was supposed to have full control because she was paying the bills. You gotta understand, I'm a smart individual. I understand that, okay, yes, you ran your house like a dictatorship. I wasn't allowed to have many friends. I wasn't allowed to leave the house. I had to do everything sneaky. I had to steal the car, to have a girlfriend, to all that stuff. I had to always sneak out of the house to get pussy. I had to do everything sneaky. But that makes sense because I was living in your house. You were paying the bills. You were taking care of me. That made sense, right? I know people that I kick it with now and stuff like that. Their relationship with their parents, I tell them what I had to do. They be like, bro, I would fucking lose my mind if my parents was like that. Man, since I was a kid, my parents let me do whatever the fuck I wanted to do whenever I wanted to fucking do it. I have friends that's like that right now. That they parents, they fucking drink with their parents. They fucking smoke weed with their parents. Their parents is like they fucking friends. That wasn't the case in my motherfucking house. My mom was a fucking dictator, and if you got a line, she'll beat your ass like slavery days, but she was brutal with the shit. You feel me? Like, damn near leave your ass dead type shit. She didn't give a fuck. She wanted to see blood. You know what I mean? Niggas talking about some, they got whoopings. Nigga, I was bleeding, motherfucker. You feel me? So, there's levels to this shit. You get what I'm trying to say? I was coming to school, blood dripping down my arm. Motherfuckers like, what's that down your arm? From my ass whooping. I'd be like, oh, fuck, my arm bleeding. Shit, goddamn. So, nah, shit was brutal. You feel me? So you gotta understand, now this is my motherfucking house. You understand what I'm trying to say? These are my motherfuckers. I didn't work all this goddamn hard to have your ass up here laid up, paying your bills, doing all this shit like that, just for you to tell me what the fuck I gotta motherfucking do. And your reasoning for that is, this is how a man's supposed to act. This is how my ideal man would act. He would be home every day. He would do this. He would do that. So I say, oh, it sounds like we in the fit. It sound like there's a it sound like something ain't worked out. Something ain't going through. But it is crazy that since I've been broken up with her, and she knows she's my roommate. She knows for a fucking fact. I said, don't get it misconstrued. We are fucking roommates. You know what I mean? And yeah, she got the waterworks and stuff like that. Yeah, she can cry on a dime. Yeah, she a big old bag of water. Yeah, all that stuff like that. You got to understand, I'm not cold. It's just tears don't faze me like they once did. You know, when I was younger, I see a girl drop a tear, I want to, move the earth for her. Now, it is what it is. You feel me? Girls cry like, I mean, bro, I'm not saying that she manipulating nothing like that. I believe her tears was real. But they just don't have the same effect on me like they used to have. You get where I'm coming from? So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Women have got to a point where they only care about what they want. But I'll tell you one thing, as a man, if you stick to what you want to do and who you are, as long as it's within reason and you're not breaking the law, you will never lose respect from the significant other. Even if she does leave in 30 days or whatever the case is, my mom is trying to keep it together and all this crazy. I don't know why. I told my mom, I said, this ain't her fight. Like, straight up. And my mom still think that I'm a kid, so she's like, don't talk to me like that. I said, talk to you like what? I was talking to my mom on the phone. I said, talk to you like what? I said, I'm not talking to you any kind of way. I'm just saying this is not your fight. You get what I'm trying to say? And she's like, well, anything to do with my son is about. I say, Mom, I said, I get it. I understand where you coming from. But this is not your battle. If I don't want to be with her, I don't want to be with her. I'm not going to be with her because you want me to be with her. You get what I'm trying to say? She started getting that line telling me what I need to do and who I need to be. I'm not going. She's like, well, she do got some points. I say, yeah, but guess what? If I don't want to agree to those points, there's only one other option. You feel me? She has to leave, or like we have to break up. You get what I'm trying to say? That's how everything works. If you try to force something on me and I say I don't want that, there is only one other option from there. It's either you accept me for who I am or you leave. There is no in the motherfucking middle. There is no compromise. You get what I'm trying to say? And you got to understand, a lot of guys, they can't do that with a woman because they are afraid of the woman actually leaving. And it's a number of reasons why guys are afraid, because they don't have the skill set to go out and get another woman. They are afraid of being alone. That's another big one. Some guys are just terrified of being alone. I'm not terrified of being alone. And I do have the skill set to go out and get another chick. And I already have other chicks in rotation, which I'm perfectly fine with. You feel me? Like I said, the only reason for monogamy, or the only reason for a main chick for me, is for kids. That's it. That's the main thing. A nuclear family, kids. You feel me? But if you try to, and you gotta understand, see, a lot of guys hearing this story, you be like, man, bro, you doing that girl wrong, da-da-da. You gotta understand, she knew this from day fucking one, since I was 18. These are conversations that I had with her. I said, hey man, I'm not really trying to settle down. I'm trying to have fun in college. And she always talked to me as if she was kind of in agreement with that. But the more longer that we get in a relationship, she started trying to put more and more boundaries on me, and I started picking up on it. Like, she was acting like she was in agreement at first when I first was talking to her, when we first was kind of hooking up and shit. But then the more and more she started being in a relationship with me, she started trying to lock me down more and more against what the fuck I agreed on. You get what I'm trying to say? And that's what happens with women. They will keep figuring out ways. They stay up all night trying to figure out ways how to control and manipulate men. And some of them do it subconsciously and some of them do it purposely. At the end of the day, they will stay up. Like, I got rotation bitches still now trying to find more creative ways to get me to marry them, even though I've told them several times I'm not interested in marriage. And then every time I hook up with them or meet up with them again, they find a creative way to talk about marriage and where we see ourselves and all this stuff like that. They will not stop until they get what the fuck they want, because they don't really give a fuck about what you want. In so many words, you can tell them till you blue in the face, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for in a partner. It's either you with it or you ain't. They will even agree to you, but just because they like you. Like, you gotta understand, when a woman is obsessed with you, she will do everything in her power to get what she wants out of you. You get what I'm trying to say? She will do everything in her power. That's how come when Antoine Davis, on this goddamn video that I reacted to, when he started to challenge her, she got so upset, because women do not want the message to be out there for men to actually have their power back, because women don't want men to actually know that they actually do have all the power. They don't want men to know that. They do not want men to know that you actually can dictate the situation. You actually can. It can be on your rules. And this is the crazy part. If the man is dictating the situation, and if the thing is running on the man's rules, as long as the man isn't dark triad and trying to seriously cause mental harm to this woman he's dealing with, or seriously cause bodily injuries to this woman by beating her and stuff like that, as long as this man is a solid man and he sticks to his guns, everybody's life will be happier. Like I was telling my main bitch, I said, okay, I said, I might be out, I said, worst case scenario, I'm fucking another bitch. I said, but who's winning? Is the bitch I'm fucking winning, or is the one who getting her bills paid winning? Right? I said, what happened when we was first meeting and you had all that fucking credit card debt and student loans and all that shit like that? And when you wasn't listening to me. Remember when we was first meeting and I was telling you and giving you things to do and you wasn't listening and you wasn't on my fucking program and you went more into debt? Like, motherfucker, she started with like 10K into fucking credit card debt. I helped her pay that off as soon as I started making money in the car business. I was like, hey, do this. You know what I mean? Bro, I turned my back on her for 1 second because we didn't cut up the credit card and shit. I turned my back on her for 1 second, bro. We chilling. I'm not even thinking about her finances and shit like that. Wake up one day, she $30,000 on the same fucking credit card. And they raising her limits and shit on the same credit card that I just helped her fucking pay off a few years ago. I'm like, how the fuck did it go from 0 to 30,000? Oh, well, what, motherfucker? Well, what? I'm like, every single time you didn't follow my lead, and I broke this shit down to her. I said, every time that you didn't follow my lead, your life has been worse. So now you want to come up here and try to take the lead again by giving me ultimatums and telling me what the fuck I need to do? Because every time I run how I'm supposed to run it, everything's smooth. Everybody life better, everything's smooth in every fucking category. But when you try to motherfucking take over and stuff like that, it's different. And you know the crazy thing too, and I'm gonna end it on this. There have been times where I've folded to what she's brought this shit up in the past. And sometimes I folded to it because I'll be like, you know what, yeah, let me be a better man, let me stay home more, let me do more around the house, The moment I folded to her demands, this is the crazy part, and it's happened in the past. The moment I folded to her demands in the past, she always became more bitchy, less compliant, lackluster head. I remember times when I folded, like I stayed home more, I cut off all my hoes, I did all that shit for her. Like I did everything. I would just literally just ghost all the girls I was dealing with, wouldn't talk to them, wouldn't go. I did everything that she wanted me to do. The head was lackluster. She would tell me shit. Imagine you getting head from your main bitch that you paying her bills and shit, and you listen to everything she say, and while she giving you head, she telling you, can you hurry up? I need to get sleep. Last night, she didn't even motherfucking say a word. I got in the bed, she rolled over, she jacked my dick, she went up to get a drink of water, gave me the most sensual. You ever had one of them blowjobs where the bitch looked like she making love to the motherfucking dick? Like she trying to trying to like it's the last candy bar on the motherfucking planet. Like she making love, she making no, she's moaning while she's sucking your dick. You ever had a bitch do some shit like that? Man, my shit was shooting every motherfucking well. Man, my shit was shooting like a motherfucker, boy. Cause I think this was like a fucking 3-day nut that I didn't bust. So I think it's been like 3 days that I didn't bust. So my shit was shooting every motherfucking where. You feel me? So isn't it crazy that if I would have folded for her and stayed home and started following her lead, her attraction and respect for me would have lowered. Then I would have started getting more bitchiness and more attitude at the bitch. Ain't that crazy? Motherfucker asking for head. She's like, I don't want to do it tonight. Okay, hurry up. Okay, okay, damn. Is it going to take any longer? That's the shit you get when you follow a bitch lead. But when I stuck to my guns and broke up with that bitch, and I'm still broken up with her, now I'm getting the most sweetness. I mean, just the sweetest thing. She literally has turned into the sweetest girl again. Like asking me stuff now. Honey, can you please go to the Target pickup for me? Honey, her voice is fucking changed. She went from, you need to stay home more, you need to do this, you need to, now she like, honey, can you please do this for me? Oh yeah, I told your mom not to come. She doesn't have to come, but she decided to come anyways. Now she's sweet as fuck. So I wanted to break that thing down to you guys. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't let these women tell you what the fuck to do, bro. Don't fold, bro. Don't fold. Don't let these bitches tell you, you take what I give you and you gonna like it. Cause that's what that bitch was saying on that video. I deserve a good man. Fuck that I got a kid. Fuck my baby daddy. I deserve a good man. Fuck what that nigga want. So, see your ass gonna fold, or see your ass gonna become elite. And if you want to become elite sooner rather than later, jump into the CLG community. It's only $48 a month, less than $500 a year. You know what I mean? Because you get a 20% discount if you sign up for the yearly. And with that being said, man, oh, and I'm still doing those one-on-ones. So for all you guys that need a one-on-one with me for free, once you jump into the CLG community, DM me and we'll set up that one-on-one. And with that being said, I'm out.